Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 11th of January, comes to you from London. And more red on the screen this morning, so that's just telling us that markets are not getting off to a great start this week. We start by looking at currencies, then we'll look at stock indices, and last of all, some commodities. We are seeing the dollar is actually having a little bit of a resurgence. So you see there 3 up days in a row, bit of resurgence. Remembering this is my long-term weekly, my medium-term daily, and my short-term 60-minute chart with the corresponding point and figure charts. So we are just seeing that the dollar is having a little bit of a recovery here, but the trend is still very clearly down on the longer-term charts. That means, of course, that the euro is pulling back, and so we are just seeing a downside potential target. We still do have upside targets, but for the moment, the euro is just pulling back, not at all changing the longer and medium-term trends. We're looking at sterling. We're sitting at 134.90. We were, of course, as high as 137. That stronger dollar the last few days has meant that we're seeing sterling weaker. Against the euro, sterling is sitting at around a 111. So it is still undergoing a bit of a short-term recovery, but overall the trend is pretty sideways. Bitcoin sitting at $36,000 has pulled back a little bit over the last couple of days, but we are just seeing it's found support at around $32,600. No big surprises there to see a bit of a pullback. The big question will be, can we go higher? We went almost exactly to the target. This target was given quite a long time ago. If you're trading Bitcoin, keep an eye on the 1-minute targets. Looking at the S&P 500 index, we're up on Friday, so that's looking better. We had quite a strong week there, recovering off the bottom. The Nasdaq also looking stronger, but we're seeing the futures this morning down 0.5% on the S&P future and down just under 0.5% on the Nasdaq E-mini. The VIX volatility is actually up 10% this morning, so the fear index is rising, but we are still bearish on the fear index on all 3 timeframes. That means we're, if you like, bullish for fear, so it's not looking so bad. The FTSE future down 0.4%, the cash market in Germany down 0.75%, and the CAC Quarante down 0.2%. So we are just seeing Europe selling off quite a sort of bad reaction to the latest coronavirus stats. The Japanese market is up 1.6%, so faring better there. The Hang Seng little change, and China down 1%, but the Chinese market has broken out, just pulling back. Might well pull back to come and find that support level. That's the key thing there as well. The Sensex in India up 1%, so looking strong there, and the Aussie market down 0.9%. Gold is up a little bit this morning, but had a pretty bad week last week. As markets rallied, gold fell, so we are just seeing that, and the stronger dollar means weaker gold, so a couple of things playing into that. Silver much the same, seeing that 1% pullback. Copper also down 1.3%, just pulling back, but no big deal. The big move last week was in bond yields. We're still sitting at 1.1%. That was a massive jump. We see that weekly jump there, so we are just seeing that continual rise in the bond yields with quite a lot of upside targets, so it does imply that we will see interest rates ultimately start to move higher. The Brent crude chart just seeing a little bit of a fallback this morning from a high set on Friday, but and we do have this downside target. We're actually neutral crude at the moment because it's run a lot and there is targets in both directions. The same with WTI. We're looking at US nat gas. That is looking more worrying. We're down 3% on nat gas, having pulled back. We are just seeing there that trend is changing. Coal needs to break $71, and we're back at 69, so we need to break to a new high. Just a lot of volatility towards the end of that run up that we saw. Emissions are actually down this morning, but the chart is still looking pretty spectacular. Got good upside targets, and we're reaching higher all the time. 35 is the level really to watch on emissions now. Gas markets were pretty strong this morning. We've got NBP up 5%, TTF up nearly 5%. And looking at German power, we are actually down 1%, but we do look set for a breakout given these targets on the 1-minute chart. Just watch for that move above 51.50. and most other power markets will have naturally follow. We are seeing Nordic power down 0.5%, having sort of reached top, and that will be interesting to watch. We do have targets in both directions, so again, Nordic power was quite a hard call this morning. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.